but they're not. I don't think anyone's going to sacrifice a game, Tony. I've never been in that situation. Maybe you have up in Philly, but not. I've never ever experienced that.
Let's go.
Not at all.
What'd you think, Bino, of Griff shutting me down there? In your humble opinion, are you for that or against that?
I'm for that. I appreciate Mark doing it, and I didn't figure Mark's voice could ever get any more distinguished, but I think with this little cold, it has somehow.
Jaden Perlotti is fast, violent, and has made some plays. I like that Perlotti guy. Here's the thing about him: let him play. You suck on defense. He doesn't know what he's doing, but you got 3- and 4-year guys there that don't know what they're doing. So just let the young kid that can kind of run around and hit some people. Bino, can I get an amen from the gallery?
Amen.
Can I get an amen for amen?
I like how Negative is already saying that amen is going to be one of these freshmen that's going to be not very good, a work in progress. You've seen a bunch of them in practice. I'm going to ask Mark about that on the other side. We're also going to unpack a lot of things, get some calls in. We're going to mix it all up next hour. Griff knows this is what we call football season.
Yes.
We introduced a baseball coach today, which is extremely exciting. Griff got to see me yesterday in the park on like 3.5 hours sleep. I was out there walking. I got 10,000 steps in, Griff, with my guitar. And Griff, described to people what I look like in 30 seconds with my guitar, with my speaker clipped to me, playing music.
You look like someone who is exercising, should not approach to ask for directions. For sure. Yes.
I have people look at me like, well, they'll see me and they'll walk like way as far away from me. I feel like a snake out there.
Well, you got your jam box going.
Yeah, that's right.
Little micro box with 80s music strumming.
That's right.
And
that's right.
You're getting attention if you want it or not.
Well, I'm not trying to get attention. I try to stay away from people, but
I hear you.
You know what I mean? I'm just out there getting a nice. I love it out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's incredible. Best part of our city.
Just like Hogman in the park, Tony.
Oh gosh,
Hogman in the park. The playbook with William Pattison on the way next. We'll stay here and kick it around in our little world. In the meantime, we love you. Peace. GBO. Congratulations, Josh Elander. Congratulations, Danny White. Here we go.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
And here we go live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. With Brett Elander, Garrett Armbrust, and Jackson Freeman, I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us on this Victory Monday from Knoxville, Tennessee. Plenty to cover over the next 2 hours, including a ton of Tennessee sports. Tennessee gets the win over Kentucky on Saturday. Vols Hoops is in an exhibition match with Duke last night. And then today, we also get Josh Elander's introductory press conference over the weekend. On Saturday, he was officially named the 26th head coach for Tennessee baseball. So we'll have topics on all of those and plenty to cover on all of that, as it was a big weekend on Rocky Top for the Volunteers, both in football, basketball, and baseball as well. We'll also talk Week 9 of the college football season that unfolded this past weekend. Vanderbilt continues to defy the odds and be the Cinderella team that many people and anticipated they could possibly be at the beginning of the season. They pick up another ranked win in the SEC. Texas goes down to the wire with Mississippi State. Ole Miss gets their signature win with Lane Kiffin on the road, their first ranked SEC win on the road over Oklahoma. And then Alabama, South Carolina, that was a close one as well. A&M rattles off a 35-point second half against LSU. We'll talk about that one. Brian Kelly gets fired. plenty to cover, man, on this Monday edition of the Playbook. So happy you're here. We'll dive into all the action here in just a second. But before we do so, let's welcome in the rest of the crew, beginning with Brett. Brett, how are you?
Good. Enjoying this terrible weather. It's awful. We were spoiled for so long, it seemed like. Now I guess they're deciding it needs to rain in October. So, but yeah, good weekend. Didn't get into a whole lot, watched a lot of sports and things like that. So, but yeah, looking forward to today's show.
Garrett, how about you? You went to Kentucky this weekend. How was the trip?
Yeah, I went to the game. Went up Saturday. Pretty good game. A lot of Tennessee fans there. By the fourth quarter, there was a lot more orange than there was blue in the stadium. And then went to the Duke basketball game yesterday, the exhibition game. So a lot of Tennessee sports attending this weekend. Yeah,
jam-packed weekend for the Volunteers and for Garrett. A lot of traveling. And Jackson, how about you? How was your weekend? How are you today?
I'm good today. Had a fun time in Lexington as well.
Okay.
It was really cool to get to go to Kroger Field. Not one of the greatest atmospheres, but get to mark it off my list of SEC stadiums, and hopefully never go back. So, but I had a good time, good weekend, and I'm excited for Mahomes Monday for all those who celebrate.
Yes, donning the Patrick Mahomes jersey behind the production board. Real quick, want to thank you guys for helping out on Friday. I know we got off to a little bit of a tough start. We had a false start penalty.
We did an intro like 3 different times. It seemed like I was trying to point to Garrett, like, go ahead, and then it happens.
Yeah, a couple of false starts on Friday, but we were able to finish it out pretty strong. So I appreciate that and appreciate those in the YouTube chat as well. What's up to Buck? And Landon Kelly chimes in and says, "William, I'm sorry my boys put it on your boys Friday night," referring to the ass kicking that CBHS gave MUS on Friday night. There was one real quick. There was an injury in this game for an MUS guy. Broke his femur, but like both bones. I mean, talk about. I mean, just a brutal injury.
He got tackled, or
I was not there.
Oh,
I just saw the X-ray picture. It got sent around to a couple of people, and that's brutal.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, so tough night for MUS. Congratulations, Landon, for the win. The Christian Brothers Purple Wave get a big one. All right, let's get into the action. We'll begin with the Vols offense scratching the Cats in Lexington. An impressive and efficient night from quarterback Joey Aguilar. Led the way in an explosive offensive explosion, I should say, by number 17 Tennessee, and its 56-34 road win at Kentucky on Saturday night at Kroger Field. This is a game that Brett has had circled for months, and it looks like Tennessee did too with the way they played Saturday night. Let's get into the takeaways. Plenty of good for the offense. One of the things we had talked about on Friday was Joey Aguilar, 3 consecutive games with just 1 touchdown heading into Saturday night, and had a couple of really, really impressive deep balls early in this one that really opened things up for this offense. We'll talk about those receivers here in a minute as well. All of those guys had a really, really strong night, a historic night for Tennessee receivers. But I thought Joey was comfortable. He looked like he was really, really in rhythm up against a Kentucky secondary that is bottom 5 in the SEC. And Joey Aguilar did his thing and was able to find his receivers multiple times throughout the night. We'll talk more about his performance here in a second. But the offense was in rhythm and everything looked really good there. The second thing, I thought it was important that Tennessee's defense puts up 14 points. We spend a lot of time critiquing this defense, but their ability to turn defense into points this season has been very, very impressive. One of the best teams in the country in doing so. However, there are plenty of things we still have to critique from Saturday night overall. But I will say the fact that this group continues to find ways to score points on the defensive side of the football was really big. Force a couple of turnovers early and give you a lot of momentum. Take what was a little bit of a bleak crowd out of it and gave Tennessee a lot of momentum. So I thought the offense looked really, really strong. They did their part. Outside of, early first quarter, Tennessee gets on the board early and then kind of stalls out with a couple of 3-and-outs. But really outside of that, we're really able to get things going. The defense continuing to find points. I thought that the road woes weren't really impactful in this one. You had a couple of penalties here and there that you would like to clean up, but overall, I thought Tennessee played a pretty clean game considering what went down in Tuscaloosa a couple of weekends ago. So that's the good. The bad is that we still have to watch this defense play for 4 quarters, and outside of those 14 points that they scored, which is great complimentary football, you got beat over the top a couple of times by Cutter Boley, who hasn't done that a ton this season. Kendrick Law had a really, really impressive touchdown down the sideline, and you had about 3 or 4 guys in position to possibly make a tackle there, but you had poor tackling angles. And Kentucky had a couple of really big explosive plays because you're continuing to be out of position or not taking the correct tackling angles or not being able to bring guys down, not being able to form tackle and bring the guy to the ground. So those things are going to, it just seems at this point, be a characteristic of this defense. You're going to have those moments where they have a pick 6 or they get a big, nice scoop and score or cause a fumble, whatever it may be. But you're also going to have some really, really disappointing moments in terms of the tackling angles and just elementary stuff. So that is still frustrating about this group. I think that's really the big main negative takeaway from this one. But I'll swing it around to the rest of you, give your takeaways, and we'll dive into some specifics from the game. Garrett, what'd you make of Tennessee's win on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people expected them to bounce back. After the Alabama game 2 weeks ago, I didn't have 56 points in the cards and 49 of those coming in the first 45 minutes of the game. But as you said, Aguilar, he responded in a big way. I thought that was probably his best game all season that he's played, especially road game. Throw for almost 400 yards, 20 for 26 passing. You have 3 receivers to go for over 100 yards. The rushing attack wasn't even something that you really needed in this game because you just had so many explosive plays through the air. And I think that that's something that's hopefully you can carry for the rest of the season because you're going to need that when you play Vanderbilt, Florida, and Oklahoma coming up. And I just thought it was a really good bounce back. I thought the defense, as you said, continued poor tackling, elementary stuff that you got to get figured out. But the pick 6 from Farouk, and then you have that play where I don't even know what Kentucky was doing. They fumbled it twice, basically on one play. That was a good play there, but then you have elements where Boo Carter is not even hustling when they score a touchdown early in the game. So kind of hit or miss on the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive performance was good enough to win you the game.
Brett, what about you?
Well, yeah, I was definitely surprised. I had a much closer game. I was barely getting 30 points. So those happy to see that. I think Aguilar is like 7-7 on deep throws. I mean, and you're talking about 7 on the money throws too. I mean, they're just great throws. Got off to a fast start, obviously, with the touchdown on the opening drive, which we talked about, and the pick 6 or whatever you want to call it. So you got off to a good start up 28-7, and really it was just kind of cruise control from there, it seemed like. But definitely still some concerns about the defense, but I think it is what it is at this point. You're just going to have to hope the offense carries you the last 4 games of this season because the defense is just poor right now. They did a good job, though, too, against our defense, getting the ball out quick. Our D-line didn't really have a big factor in this one either. I didn't think 1 sack on the day, but you got out there with a win. Offense was impressive, and you clean some stuff off, hopefully defensively. But happy to get the win though.
Jackson, what about you?
Yeah, I thought the offense looked really good and a bounce back after lackluster showing in Tuscaloosa. But the defense is still relatively problematic. I know a lot of Kentucky's yards and points may have come after Tennessee had a really comfortable lead, but it's still Tennessee's first Power 4 school to give up more than 3 touchdowns to Kentucky since 2023. That's just, not great, to put it lightly. Yeah. So, you hope to see improvement, but it also feels like we're at the point of the season where it's hard to see any more improvement. I mean, your next game's in November. You have 4 games left. Or is it 3?
Well, yeah. So you got Oklahoma, Florida, New Mexico State, Vanderbilt. Yeah. So 4 more to go.
That's what I thought. It really seems like this is what you're going to get, an offense that can win you any game, but a defense that is going to keep the other team in it. So
yeah. Well, let's focus on the offensive side of the ball to begin with. Joey Aguilar completes 20 of his 26 pass attempts for a season high 396 yards and 3 touchdowns while averaging 19.8 yards per completion as a Volunteer. So improved to 6-2 and 3-2 in SEC play. Improved to 17-0 under Josh Heupel when scoring 50 or more points. And Brett, you highlighted a minute ago those deep passes. And when Joey is able to, I mean, you don't even have to go 100%, like, 7 for 7, as you mentioned. When he's able to get it down the field at an efficient and effective rate, this Tennessee offense turns into one of the best in the country and one of the toughest to defend. Last year, and really over the last 2 years, ever since Hendon Hooker has no longer been the quarterback of this team, you have struggled to find consistency on those deep shots. Nico Iamaleava was like a 15 to 20% guy. 20% of his deep shots would be completed. So 1 out of 5 throws. Joe Milton was kind of the same way. You didn't want to force it down the field with him because you never knew where that football was going to end up. But Joey Aguilar in game 1 proved that this is a guy that can be pretty accurate down the field. And this was his best performance in that aspect. And this opens up this Tennessee offense to now where I feel like the running game is in a good spot with Deshaun Bishop kind of taking that lead back role, but Star Thomas and Payne Lewis were also involved Saturday night. That allows you to play complementary football offensively with your run game continuing to be good. You also have the intermediate routes with your receivers that can consistently become a factor. But when you're able to get those deep shots, it opens up this offense to a whole different level. It looks like it does in 2022, and this is the well-oiled Josh Heupel machine that you want to see from this Tennessee group week in and week out. And it's all because Joey Aguilar is able to be an effective and efficient thrower down the field. I'd say this season he's hitting like a 60% rate on these deep shots. It's very rare he misses. He had a couple of misses against Arkansas, and that wasn't his best showing. But when you go down the list, I mean, against Georgia, there were multiple deep shots that he was able to connect on. And this one, it was almost every possession he had at least one. So it opens up this offense to be able to fully run the way it's supposed to. And that's why we're seeing these type of numbers from Tennessee's offense right now. What does Joey Aguilar give this group, Garrett?
Yeah, I know. I mean, definitely, as you said, this is, a gear of the offense that we haven't had in a couple seasons, really since 2022, where you've had the wide receiver talent to be able to do it, and you've had the quarterback that's been able to do it. And I mean, if you can complete, 40% of those passes downfield, that's pretty good. And when you're looking at someone that can do it 60% of the time, that just adds, another layer that the defense has to guard against. You have a running back room that's 3 deep. You have a solid tight end and Miles Kitselman that's your main guy out there. And then you obviously have good wide receivers that can go deep. They can, be in the flats. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And when you have a well-oiled machine like that offensively can do numerous different things with the football, it just makes it so much harder for a defensive unit to be able to get stops, especially, on third down, which I thought Tennessee was a lot better at this week, 50% from third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down. So for them to be able to do that, I also thought was pretty impressive with Joey.
Brett, what about you?
Yeah, it's also nice when Kentucky doesn't change defense and they're just going to leave one-on-one coverage. That helps a lot too. And you just have really good players, playmakers out there. But
yeah,
you can't do anything when the ball is being put where it was. I mean, these are pro throws. I mean, that's what you see on Sunday from guys, just right on the money. But when you have 3 guys that are explosive as anybody, I think they're 3 of the top 4 in the conference right now in receiving yards in conference games only, with Matthews, Braley, or Staley, sorry, and combined his names there, and Brazel. I mean, yeah, it's fun to see, and they stayed healthy, knock on wood, too. So that helps in these games as well. But yeah, Kentucky's bad, but the throws were just too good on Saturday night.
Yeah. Tennessee's 56 points were its most in a Southeastern Conference game since blanking Vanderbilt 56-0 in the 2022 regular season finale. 7 different players found the end zone for the Big Orange in Saturday night's triumph over the Wildcats, who now fall to 2-5 and 0-5 in league play. Would have been a bad loss for Tennessee if they were unable to get it done Saturday. The Vols finished with 504 yards of total offense on the night and had 3 wideouts reach 100 yards receiving. And Chris Brazel II with 138, Mike Matthews with 107, and Braylon Staley with 105, marking the first time that Tennessee has accomplished this feat since November 23rd, 2019 at Missouri, when Josh Palmer went for 124, Juwan Jennings went for 115, and Marquez Callaway went for 110, all racking up 100-yard performances through the air. And right now, I kind of feel like this might be the best all-around receiving group of the Heupel era. Now, you had a really strong one in 2022, but there were some injuries throughout that season, so you never really got to see all those guys go at once. Obviously, Jalen Hyatt, probably the best wide receiver that Tennessee has had during this Heupel era. But I think overall as a group, I think you're witnessing the best group right now. And it's funny because this was a big concern of mine this offseason. Yeah. You didn't really know what you had with Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. You knew they were highly recruited guys, but ratings don't always, result in really, really good players. Chris Brazel last year was solid, but it was kind of underwhelming for what you thought you were getting out of the portal. Now, these guys are banging because you've got a quarterback that can hit them down the field, and you've got an offense that is in rhythm. I think right now this is the best all-around group that Josh Heupel has had at receiver, and you are seeing the type of impact these guys can have. Kentucky had no answer for them all Saturday night, and as you mentioned, it was kind of funny. They continue to trot these guys out and try to win one-on-one. It's usually what we see with Tennessee. But these guys won their matchups. And again, when you have a guy that's making pro-esque throws and putting it right in the breadbasket where it's supposed to be, you're going to have numbers like these. I think that's the best all-around receiving group of the Heupel era right now.
I think the 2022 team, I think if Tillman and McCoy are healthy, I think, alongside Hyatt, I think those three guys are probably the best. But this group right here, with a group that you didn't know what you had, with young talent, Matthews and Staley, not to mention those two guys will be returning next year. You have Rodarius Jackson, who hasn't done much of anything this season due to an injury. He'll, most likely be back next season. And then you bring in the 5-star Tristan Keys. You're looking at another very exciting wide receiver room next year.
Yeah.
And then, the Kentucky defense, as bad as their team is, the Kentucky's defense all season has been pretty solid. Texas scored 17 points on them. Texas has had offensive woes this season, but they put up plenty of points in Starkville this week. So I think for you to be able to do that, to land those deep balls, to have three guys with over 100 yards, extremely impressive.
Brett, what about you?
Yeah, it's close. If you want to throw Ramel Keaton in 22, he had a pretty good season stepping into the Tillman role.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all remember the catch against Florida and stuff like that. But, right now I think the slight edge is to these guys. But I am with Garrett. If Tillman had stayed healthy, I would have probably gone with them.
Sure.
But can't take away anything what they're doing. They're all playing at all SEC level, for sure. So, I would go with the guys this year.
Jackson, best group of the Heupel era?
Yeah, I would have to plant my flag on that take. You remember going into last year when the DB room was completely gutted and they brought in Jermon McCoy, but nobody really knew how good that room was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It really reminds me a lot of what they did with the receiver room this year. You had 6 guys leave, whether it be via the NFL draft or through the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people wanted the Vols to go and pick up someone in the transfer portal, and they may have tried, but they weren't able to do it. And maybe this is wise because they knew what was on this roster with Brazel and Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. So I think it's really worked out well for them. And to what you said about the pro level throws, there's stuff that Joey does, like on that deep ball touchdown to Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't throw it over Matthews' head. He threw it in a spot for Matthews to adjust.
Yeah.
To then get open because that DB was on him, and Matthews was able to adjust and catch the ball and get into the end zone. And that's what you see the elite quarterbacks in the NFL do.
Yeah.
That's something you don't really teach. It's just a feel.
Yeah, most definitely. A very impressive performance from those Tennessee receivers in addition to Joey Aguilar. Let's talk about those running backs, though. For the third time this season, all 3 of the Vols' primary running backs, Deshaun Bishop, Star Thomas, and Payne Lewis, scored touchdowns as the Vols rushed for 4 scores on Saturday night. And while it wasn't the main topic, as a lot of these runs were kind of in short yardage packages, goal line situations, I think that the Tennessee rushing attack continues to give this offense complementary football. And there are some outings, like against Arkansas, where Deshaun Bishop and company are the focal point of this offense. There are other nights, like Kentucky on Saturday, when the passing attack is the focal point. But the fact that you can still get complementary production from both sides shows you how good of a group this is overall. So while it wasn't the dazzling, big time runs that we saw against Alabama and Arkansas, it was a complimentary football that you needed in order to get 7 points on the board instead of 3. And that goes a long way, as Tennessee was able to put up 56 in this one. So I thought of a very good complimentary rushing performance in this one. And Deshaun Bishop, I think, continues to play really good football. What'd you make of the rushing attack, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't obviously light up the stat sheet, but you didn't need it to. I mean, you had, we talked about there were so many explosive plays through the passing game that got you either into the end zone or into the red zone. The rushing attack was kind of able to just punch those balls in. I think you had, 3 rushing touchdowns from inside the red zone, even though you only had one play that went for over 10 yards on the ground. You only averaged 3.5 yards. But again, you didn't really need it. It wasn't something that you had to win this football game from. All your explosive plays were through the passing game. So I thought the rushing attack did what they were supposed to. It just wasn't, like I said, it just wasn't really needed to win the game.
Yeah. Brett, what about you?
Yeah, same. Wasn't really needed. The only downside I can say, I think on their one sack they had, I think Deshaun Bishop whiffed on some pass protection. But for the most part, I mean, they were there. They did the job, got in the end zone when called upon. So, Saturday was all about the passing game, so not much to really go on with them. But
let's pivot to the defensive side of the ball real quick because
do we have to?
Well, we have to talk about it. We have to because that right now seems to be this Tennessee team's Achilles heel. Tennessee's defense forced a pair of turnovers, which directly resulted in 14 first-half points. Redshirt freshman linebacker Edwin Spillman finished with a career-high 15 tackles, including 11 solo stops to lead all players, while veteran defensive lineman Dominic Bailey had a pair of tackles for loss and a sack. And Edris Farouk's pick 6 marked his first career interception and defensive touchdown, as well as Tennessee's 5th defensive score this season, which is tied for the most in the FBS with Louisiana Tech. And while those are positives, the defense still does have plenty of negatives. Let me say this first. Edwin Spillman, hats off to him, man. He's been one of my favorite revelations of this team all season long. Talk about a guy that is in a pretty competitive linebacker room. Arian Carter misses this one. A lot of people were concerned at what that linebacker room would look like with him no longer out there. And Edwin Spillman says, hold my beer. I mean, this was a great performance from him. Career high 15 tackles, very reminiscent of what we've seen Arian Carter do at points in SEC play this season. Had 14 tackles against Georgia, 17 tackles against Mississippi State. Spillman goes for 15 against the Cats. So really impressive stuff from him. I continue to like Jane Perlotti out there as well. I think Perlotti gives you a boost of speed and a guy that's better in pass coverage than Elander, who I think is a little bit slow. And though he is good in run protection, I don't like him in pass protection. So I like seeing Perlotti out there once again this weekend. Thankfully, did not have a live ball go to him, so he didn't have the opportunity to bat it somewhere. But other than that, good performance from him. Where I stand with the defense is I just think it is what it is. You're going to have a roller coaster type night watching this group. You're going to have the highs of a pick 6. You're going to have the highs of a pinball machine fumble that goes Tennessee's way. You're going to have those moments where you're like, that's a really big play over the course of a game in terms of momentum. There are going to be other plays where Kendrick Law is able to escape, 4 or 5 Tennessee defenders and run down the sideline. There are going to be those moments where Jeremy Bernard catches it 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage and picks up 16 yards and a first down. There are going to be those moments with this team. And I think at the end of the day, it is what this group is at this point. We can continue to critique and say they need to be better at this and better at that. But the reality is we're, 9 games into the season, 8 games into the season. This is what this group is. So I think you're going to have to know that in the back of your head, and you're going to have to put up a lot of points. Is that sustainable to win a college football playoff game or make it to the college football playoff in general? I don't think so. But you're going to have to find ways to get some wins defensively, and by putting up points and getting turnovers, I think is the best way to do it. Does put a lot of pressure on your offense and their ability to respond and put points on the board after you cause a turnover. So my takeaway right now is this is just what this Tennessee defense is. It's a roller coaster. Let's call it the Tennessee tornado in light of Dollywood just down the street. Garrett, what do you make of the defense at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right with you. I mean, I think, like you said, you're deep into the football season now. It's almost November. What you have now is what you get. You could have said earlier in the season, well, maybe McCoy or Gibson comes back. It's quite evident that's not going to happen now. You're without your top linebacker in this game. So essentially, from the beginning of the season, you're down, maybe 3 of your best defensive players in this game. But again, this is a Kentucky offense that had basically no juice all season. They scored 34 points on you. Cutter Boley has 5 touchdowns. They made some good plays, like you said, pick 6. You have the fumble situation that happens there. They've had a lot of good plays this year where they've created turnovers, but again, it's just the elementary not being able to tackle, missed tackles, bad angles, stuff like that just can't happen when you're playing really good teams. The Boo Carter play, that one kind of made me angry when he was just kind of jogging down the sideline. I don't know that he would have actually necessarily caught him before he got to the end zone, but I would have liked to seen a little bit more effort, on that play there.
Brett, where do you stand with this Tennessee defense?
Thank God our offense is good. Because if it was last year's offense, we're in trouble. I mean, you have to hold an opponent under 30 points in a game. An SEC play, it's just shocking. I don't even know where to begin. It's just embarrassing, really, that a guy named Cutter Boley can just cut you up, the way he did. Boo Carter, just no effort. I'd boot the guy from the team right now, honestly. That effort was you can at least press the guy a little better than he did. He just kind of waved at him, things like that. So, I mean, they're opportunistic. I mean, thank goodness they're getting these. They're getting stops, I guess. We got 28-7. The defense had to have some involvement in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They put us up 14-0. They got us another scoring opportunity, things like that. So, but overall, they shouldn't be 16th out of 16 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
They just really shouldn't.
Yeah. Tennessee returns home this Saturday to take on Oklahoma, coming off a loss to Ole Miss on Saturday. We'll continue to get ready for that one throughout the week. And as many people saw today on the Instagram feeds and the social media feeds, dark mode is official for Neyland Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe on the call. Prime time in Neyland Stadium with the dark mode involved as well. Is
game day coming here?
And the game day is going to Utah this week. Who does Utah play? What is it?
Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati, Utah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Top 25 matchup between those two.
They gave in to the
they've already been here.
The
right?
SEC bias claims. They gave into it and are going to an objectively worse game.
Yeah, I think they threw Utah back in the top 25 this week just to be able to do that. But I mean, hey, they did beat Colorado 53-7. So yeah, they beat the crud out of them. But Utah. I mean, obviously we're not going to talk Utah right now, but they've already come to Tennessee once this year.
Yeah,
I get it. Real quick, let's read the YouTube chat. Buck says, I'd like to ask for prayers for Jamaica with the impending hurricane coming in. We appreciate that, Buck. Landon Kelly, good to see Rodarius Jackson back out there getting reps. I agree with that as well. Definitely helps out with kind of giving some of these starters a little bit of a rest as well. We've seen them having to play high snap count.
Ethan Davis, too.
Yeah, Ethan Davis returned. He got in the end zone. Good to see Ethan Davis get in the end zone.
Yeah.
A guy that's been out for much of this season, getting involved in the passing game. Landon Kelly goes, any update on Colton Hood? I'm told he's not at 100% right now, so we're going to have to wait till Wednesday for the injury report there. But that would be brutal. That'd be your top 3 defensive backs all down. So hoping for the best for Colton Hood. When we come back, let's switch over to the hardwood as Tennessee and Duke had an exhibition matchup last night inside TBA at FCC. We'll break down our takeaways from that one when we return right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronakville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you, even if pills have failed. Our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronakville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your home exterior needs. If your home needs new siding, windows, doors, gutters, handrails, a deck, or a new roof, then give my friends at North Knox Siding and Windows a call at 865-689-0505. You can also visit their showroom at 5618 North Broadway. Locally owned and operated and proudly serving all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas, North Knox Siding and Windows. Online at northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
All right, back here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate all of those who are listening along with us, whether it be on the free Fan Run Radio app, 105.7 FM or 1340 AM here in K-Town on the local dial, or on the X/YouTube live stream. However you're listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. Let's switch over to the hardwood as the University of Tennessee men's basketball team began its 2025-26 campaign with an 83-76 setback against number 6 Duke in an exhibition contest at a sold-out Food City Center. Number 18, Tennessee, built a 9-point lead late in the first half, but the Blue Devils stormed back in the second half to earn the win. Senior guard Jacoby Gillespie paced the home team with 19 points and a game-best 8 assists in the hard-fought defeat. Gillespie made all 6 of his free throws en route to his team-best point total, as well as committed just 2 turnovers in 36-plus minutes of action. He finished with 2 more assists than any other player on either side, showcasing a lot of the different things that he can bring to the table for this Tennessee team. And let's get to our takeaways. Really, I've got one overarching takeaway from this whole game, I should say. Calm down, everyone. Just calm down. I went to Tennessee, Indiana last year in that exhibition matchup, and Chaz Lanier had like 8 points on 3 of 12 shooting. And obviously I thought this game was a little bit different because I thought Barnes kind of played more of what he would do during the regular season as opposed to that Indiana game where he had like Bishop Boswell coming in with 10 minutes left and it was a 1-possession game. But it's an exhibition matchup, folks. Just because Tennessee loses to Duke in October does not mean this is going to be a bad team in March. Just take a deep breath. I thought Jacoby Gillespie looked really good last night. I thought Nate Ament showcased what he can bring to the table. I know a lot of people were saying he was just jacking up shots and looked like it was a pickup game. But I thought he looked comfortable. I'm looking at his movement and stuff like that. I thought he moves like an NBA prospect. I thought he moves like a potential first-round pick in the NBA draft. I know the shots didn't all go in for him, and he kind of had a little bit of a tendency to just throw stuff up. But I'm not overreacting to an exhibition matchup against a very, very talented Duke team. Very talented Duke team. And I know Cameron Boozer was really impressive. He was one of the top recruits in the class. Kind of outshined Amen in this one. But I'm not freaking out over an exhibition game where, this Tennessee team is trying to figure out a lot of different things. It's why you play these games. After that Tennessee-Indiana game last year, I wasn't walking out of the stadium saying, oh, this is a team that's going to be in the NIT. Indiana was terrible last season. Tennessee lost to them in an exhibition matchup in October. That should tell you all you need to know about last night. I thought Jacoby Gillespie was really impressive, though. I think he's going to be one of the best guards in the SEC, if not the country. And I do worry what those non-Jacoby Gillespie minutes look like for Tennessee this season, because I do think you have a lack of shooters, and that could become an issue. But I think you have some really, really strong post presence players. Felix Okpara seems to be taking a step above what he was last season. I think he's going to have a good year. I think you have good depth at that position. But I think the shooting guard position right now is going to continue to be one of the lingering questions throughout the season. And if you're able to identify a guy that can come off the bench or, play that two-guard role effectively alongside Gillespie and Ament, I think this is going to be a good basketball team. I think defensively, this is going to be a really, really strong group. So everyone take a chill pill. I was looking on Twitter last night. People are freaking out. Acting like we're playing this game in March. Acting like this was a shot to advance to the Final Four. Like, chill, people. It's an exhibition in October. I just go back to last year and know what I watched and said, like Chaz Lanier had 9 points last year. He ended up being an NBA draft pick. So my takeaway is just calm down, people. Calm down. What'd you make of it, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, losing by 7 points to a team that is a national title contender before Halloween is not really something that I'm too worried about. I thought Gillespie and Ament had some really good moments. I thought maybe there was, some forced shots, kind of the mid-range game that they didn't need to force in the second half. But, I mean, that's what a scrimmage is for. A Rick Barnes coach team is going to get better defensively as the season goes on. Rebounding is going to get better. Those small things that you have to be good at to play on the court for a Rick Barnes team are going to get better. I thought Dwayne Brown was really impressive at the end of the first half last night. He looked like a guy that could get a lot of solid minutes this season for a freshman, kind of an underrated prospect out of Alabama. I'm excited to see what he looks like. It was good to see guys like Ethan Berg out there last night, international player that we haven't really seen much of over the offseason. So it was just nice to kind of see everybody in there. Definitely a little bit of a new team this year, a lot of new faces, a lot of new numbers that you got to learn. But, I mean, overall, I thought they did a lot good. Duke's just a really good team, and Cameron Boozer is potentially the number one draft pick in the draft next year.
Yeah, you mentioned Ethan Berg. He got to campus in September 8th exactly. So this guy's only been here for a month and a half. So again, you have some of these players that are still trying to figure out their own footing in the city. Trying to figure out what it's like to be on this Tennessee team. Again, just take a chill pill, folks. Am I overreacting to people overreacting to this, Brett?
I mean, they're just reacting to what they saw last night. I mean,
so you share the same sentiment,
sort of. I mean, you can still watch if you look like you have potential of guys that can put the ball in the basket. That's what exhibitions do. And I think outside of Gillespie and Ament, I still have questions about that.
Okay.
Like, where does scoring come from? You saw Gillespie and Ament put up 39 shots between the two of them, which is a recipe for success, especially if they're not hitting. I wonder if having two bigs on the floor is enough space for a guy, for Ament, who seems to want to have his back to the basket and try and get to the rim. But there was plays where he had the ball at the free throw line and Duke was just collapsed in the paint. So, I mean, at the same time, I completely overreacted to the Indiana one last year, more so about Okpara and Adu, that situation. So I have some concerns, but Duke, like you said, is a really good team. They're going to be a Final Four team, probably. I mean, they've got five, you just watch them. They got five guys on the floor at all times that can put the ball in the basket. We have two. And then what if Gillespie goes to the bench? Like, there's still a lot. I mean, you got questions, and I don't know. Maybe I'm more so with the overreaction crew. I won't get into it right now, but
Okay.
yeah, I've got a lot more questions than answers coming out of that one.
Okay. Jackson, did you get a chance to watch it last night?
Yeah, I did. I haven't been super tuned into what's been going on with the basketball team up until last night, but I made sure to sit down and watch. I think I watched 75% of this game. And I personally was impressed with all of the new faces. And I mean, you're facing a team in Duke that, everyone is going to pick them as a national title contender. And you only lose by 7 points in a game that you were competitive in from start to finish. I thought it was a sign of good things to come because it is just an exhibition game.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed last night, despite the loss. But I will say it was weird watching a televised Tennessee basketball game without seeing Zakai Ziegler on the court.
Yeah. And I feel like Gillespie is going to have to take that role this year. Zakai, when he was on the court for the Volunteers last season, it almost felt like it was kind of just a different setup when he wasn't playing. Now, obviously, like a Jordan Gainey was able to come in and he started being really good with the ball as the season went on. But I feel like, at least watching last night, I think you're going to have to identify that second point guard. I don't think that's Bishop Boswell. I'd like to see Troy Henderson.
Well, Berg did it some too.
Berg did it some as well.
Did Henderson even play?
Henderson did not play last night. And
that was surprising.
And neither did Amari Evans. But those are two guys that I think over the course of the season will have an opportunity. I think Evans will be really good defensively. I like his length a lot. But I've heard nothing but great things about Troy Henderson this offseason. And I know he's undersized and he's a true freshman. Kind of a guy that you want to potentially develop like a Zakai Ziegler. But remember, when Zakai Ziegler came onto the scene, as that year went on, despite being 5'9", 5'10", whatever he is, he ended up playing big-time minutes over the course of that freshman season. So I think Henderson could have a similar trajectory. He's going to get an opportunity at some point, especially if you can't solidify that that second guard. I'd even look at certain situations too where Gillespie plays shooting guard, and I know he's really good as a ball handler and a playmaker, but he's your best shooter right now. And I feel like if you could get a Troy Henderson out there to run point guard, or maybe a Bishop Boswell, have him play point guard and have Gillespie as that 2, I think you can find some successful offensive sets there. I do want to focus on Nate Ament real quick, though. 14 points and a team-leading 10 rebounds, a double-double in his debut. For all the people that are freaking out, 14 and 10 in your debut against a team that's probably going to be in the Final Four this upcoming season, that's impressive to me. Felix Akpara goes 11 points for 5 of 6 shooting, including marking his lone 3-point attempt, as well as pulled down 8 boards and blocked a team-high 2 shots. Brown, as you mentioned, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block. I think you've got some good depth downstairs this year. And that was a little bit of an issue last year when Akpara got in foul trouble. It was, who do we go to? You got to play small. So I don't think that's going to be an issue this year, but I do think you're going to have to identify who's that 2 guard and how you can get some more shots, good looks. I think Ethan Berg could be that guy too. He hit one at the top of the key early last night. Again, he's a guy that got on campus a month ago. So I think over the course of the season, and in particular non-conference play, you're going to learn a lot more about this team. You're going to see them in more formations, more sets, more different lineups. This thing's going to grow. I'm not freaking out right now, and I think there are a lot of positives to take away, especially downstairs with your depth. And the Nate Ament, I thought looked the part. I know the numbers might not be there, but there were a couple of possessions where it was smooth. I mean, a guy that's 6'10", 6'11", moving like that is not going to be somewhere. Is not going to be something you find everywhere in the country. That baseline dunk was really, really pretty. Had a spring to be able to, kind of jump from a little bit of a distance away. Had a couple of nice fadeaway jump shots on the baseline as well. I was impressed. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to get to his spots and is going to grow a lot in October, November, and December right before SEC play. Real quick, what'd you make of Nate Ament, the 5-star for the Volunteers?
Yeah, I thought, like you said, he hit a lot of good mid-range shots, double-double in your first, I guess, technically collegiate game, even though it was an exhibition. I think that's solid. You're going to get better from now. I guess what tip-off is next week, the first game on Monday. From that time until the games that you play in Vegas. You don't really play any competition. So those are the games when you go out there and you're able to solidify yourself, show what you can do in real basketball games that count for your record, but teams that you're better than in. And I would expect him to have a couple of big games in those and as we get ready for SEC play. But this is a guy that has potential to be the best freshman in the conference if he plays to the level that he can play to. But, yeah, I thought he looked good for the most part, though.
Brett, what about you, Nate Ament?
Yeah, I mean, he was all right. 6'11". I'd hope he almost have 10 rebounds a game. So 19 shots to get 14 points. I'd like to see him get the line a little bit more. Only 6 free throw attempts, but I mean, it was all right for a debut, I guess. I personally like to see him more at the 4 as the season goes on. I just having the 2 bigs just frustrates the heck out of me.
Hell, I think you could put him at 5. I really do. I think Ament could play any position on the court.
I was just disappointed in the effort by the team, the rebound. You got crushed on the glass. I mean, I thought we got Carey in there, had 1 rebound. You got that freshman in there battling better than him. You should watch the board and be like, oh, he's getting 20 rebounds on me. What is going on?
Yeah.
Just playing soft. That's against a freshman.
Yeah.
Oh, frustrating.
It's okay. Hey, it's early, man. That's a really talented Duke team. Amari Evans, not Amari Evans. What's the Evans kid for?
Isaiah Evans.
Isaiah Evans. That's what I meant. Isaiah Evans, I think, is a really, really good player. He had 22 and 5 last night.
They're a really good team.
Cameron Boozer, 24 and 23. That was something.
That's crazy.
And then I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Oh, the center for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True sophomore. He's good. He had 15 and 9. I mean, when you go down the list, I mean, 10 of 27 from 3 for the Vols, for Duke, I think was the difference.
They just clamped down on the second half to start. I mean,
Yeah.
Shire wanted to win that game. I mean, Boozer playing almost the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
We didn't make many threes either, did we? I mean,
They
I know
were
the
in
first couple of plays of the game were all our big men hitting threes at the beginning.
All of them were in the first half, I feel like.
Big number here, too. Duke goes 93% at the free throw line, 25 of 27.
I mean, he scored 43 in the first half, like 30 in the second.
Yeah.
They clamped down on us, too.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, it is a very somber Best Bets recap, back-to-back weeks, and the wrong side of the winning sheet. Oh, gosh. Let's break it down when we return right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast feed. Like, rate, and download the show from the Fan Run app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fan Run is giving away a huge prize package.
That's a big box. What's in there?
You're going to want to find out.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
A winner will be drawn live on Halloween during Fan Run Friday at Calhoun's on the River.
To learn how you can earn entries, make sure you're tuning in daily to Fan Run Radio and following us across all of our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, and Instagram.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, and I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at bonowshouses.com.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Hey, folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm afraid, like I'm scared as a dog, but I've got a new song.
All right, back here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. Now time for our best bets recap from this past weekend. Tough one. And hey, Auburn won outright.
Crazy.
All right, best bets recap presented by VIP Play. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $20 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. And if you're in Tennessee and you like to get involved in the action on college football or the NFL or maybe the MLB and NBA, the VIP Play app is the best way to do it. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. 1-3 performance for me on Saturday. There were a couple of sides I wanted to take, including Auburn plus a 2.5, but I put them on the no bet list last week. I couldn't do it. I liked Houston plus the 7.5, knowing that Jordan Tyson was going to be out. For Arizona State. They go on the road and win outright, but I stayed away from it because I didn't want to take the away team in a road spot at night. But let's go down the list. So we began with Oklahoma minus 5.5. It was a system play, ranked versus ranked matchup, home team favored of 3 or more. John Mateer just does not look like himself right now, and that Ole Miss offense had plenty of success against that Oklahoma defense that had looked really strong to that point so far in the season. Vanderbilt minus 2.5. Commodores keep on paying me out, so I'm happy with them. I hate it for Bo Prabula. We'll talk more about that game in hour number 2. But Prabula goes down, and I thought Matt Zollers was good for Missouri. I mean, he actually looked really impressive. But Vanderbilt wins situationally. They sit on the ball to end the game and punch it in late. They win 17-10. Back-to-back weeks. Vanderbilt paying me out. Then we move to the Fraud Bowl, and this is why I really didn't want to take it, but Iowa State minus 2.5. They have an early lead in this one, and then disaster unfolds. They lose 41-27, despite leading by double digits at one point in this one. Iowa State minus 2.5 does not cash, and the books are giving BYU on a plus number 2 weeks in a row and paying it out. It mind boggles me. Finally, LSU plus 2.5. Obviously, we all know how this one unfolded, but my reasoning for this one was a back against the wall spot at home, 20-1 straight up. It was not Les Miles, was Brian Kelly in night games at LSU, and now he's 20-2 and doesn't have a job. So A&M sprinkles on 35 points in the second half. LSU was up 18-14 at halftime. I was feeling good. Mm-hmm. Marcel Reed threw 2 interceptions in this one early. I was feeling good. I was like, all right, 2-2, we'll even out. We'll just have to get it back at it next week. Back-to-back losing weeks.
Me and Garrett tried to tell you Mississippi State.
Yeah, I stayed away from it.
I mean, it barely held on to the plus 7.5, but
Arch might not be playing this week. He's in concussion protocol.
I get Vandy, right?
Yeah, they got
Vandy really going to get a game without Sellers, Prabula, and now Arch? Gosh.
Okay, without Sellers is a little...
I mean, he's our best player.
South Carolina's
terrible.
terrible.
14-7 when he went out.
South Carolina's terrible. They won that game by like 30 points.
Okay, but Sellers is a good quarterback. He's their whole offense.
I know, but
it makes a difference. You'd rather.
It was like 14-7 when Sellers got hurt.
Saying.
So, I mean, it was very much a close game.
Vandy's just a Cinderella team right now. What can you say?
I like
and Pavia.
I like Pavia, man. I don't know. That's me. I'm interested to see where that line moves because I guess they're anticipating him not playing, but that game's on the road.
After he's having his best game, against Mississippi State, Arch.
Yeah, he's still too inconsistent for me. I can't get behind him.
I agree, but I mean, it was his best game.
Yeah, numbers wise, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's best bets recap. We'll look to do better this week, folks. I'm going to have a more sharper eye on the slate. But right now, I've already got 3 sides, so that's a good sign. All right, when we come back, we will talk about Josh Elander being named the 26th head coach in Tennessee baseball history. We'll tell you what he had to say during today's introductory press conference. We'll also break down week 9 of college football, our takeaways from the big action over the weekend, and also talk about Brian Kelly being officially fired from LSU. That's all coming up in hour number 2 right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever the they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox, Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball to score points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Are you tired of waiting on interest rates to drop before you start saving money? I'm Chris Burleson with University Lending Group, and I've got a better way. With a traditional closed-end mortgage, most of your payment goes straight to interest, not your balance. But with my Smart Loan, every deposit you make cuts your principal immediately and reduces interest in real time. On average, my clients pay off their mortgage in just 7 years. Call me today at 865-388-7634 or visit smartloantn.com and let's turn your income into financial freedom. NMLS number 332941.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Knoxville, get ready. The Big Sports Show is coming Saturday, November 8th at the World Exposition Hall. Meet your favorite sports stars, Hall of Famer Earl Campbell, baseball greats Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden, and Jose Canseco, plus UT legends Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Carl Pickens, and many more. Autographs, photos, and memories you'll never forget all in one huge day. Tickets on sale. Get yours now at BigSportsShow.com. That's BigSportsShow.com. The Big Sports Show, Saturday, November 8th, Knoxville. Don't miss it.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Here we go. Hour number 2 on a Victory Monday from Knoxville, Tennessee. We appreciate you listening along with us. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play with Brett Hollander, Garrett Armbrust, and Jackson Freeman. I'm William Pattison. Great stuff in hour number one. We'll continue it here in hour number two as we continue to unpack what was a loaded weekend for Tennessee athletics. Tennessee football gets the big win over Kentucky. We talked about that one. Tennessee was in action in an exhibition matchup against Duke. We talked about that one. But Saturday, while many were prepping their charcuterie boards for the college football slate, Josh Elander was named the 26th head coach in Tennessee baseball history. What a great move from Danny White and company. We talked about it all last week. If there was a guy that could take over this program right now, it would be Josh Elander. That would be the right hire. You had multiple former players coming out and tweeting out and saying Elander should be the guy. Reports on Friday that Tennessee was going to take interviews with Coastal Carolina's coach and some others. And Evan Russell, I think it was Evan Russell, like tweeted out like laughing emojis to one of those tweets. Obviously, there would have been a ton of backlash if Elander was not named the head coach. But on Saturday, out of the blue, out of nowhere, they said, we met with the guy, and we have our guy. Josh Elander named the head coach of Tennessee baseball. The right move. And today he had his introductory press conference. It was really cool to see the entire Tennessee baseball team there. They couldn't even fit them all in, so they're behind the black curtain originally. But when they did the photo ops, the whole team came around and took a big picture with him. His family was there, his two girls. Very, very cool moment for him. Talk about a guy that has worked his way up. He's been here for 9 years, and it's very rare that you have a guy that is at his level or regarded at his level, stick around at the same spot for so long, wait for his opportunity. And it shows you stick around at the right place, you earn your keep, you earn the respect from others, you're going to get the opportunity to have a big-time promotion, and that's what Elander gets. The right hire here, I think Danny White made the right decision. Obviously, I think he had to scope the national landscape and see if there was another guy worthy of the job. But I think when you have that much praise and that much support from former players, it was too tough not to go with that decision. So today in his introductory press conference, he said, quote, "We're going to keep this thing going," which I think is really big because, Tennessee baseball wasn't anything before Tony Vitello arrived. And now you're building a very nice stadium, which Danny White mentioned once again early on today in the press conference to Brett, to Brett's liking. He always likes when he gives some of those,
Love it.
some of those building plans and financial numbers. But I thought Danny's quote about Tony was a lot more sincere today. I felt like last week it was just a tornado, like just all over the place. I thought today he did a good job by thanking him once again and mentioning his name. But I think this is also a big part of what Tony Vitello built. Vitello employed Josh Elander and wanted Elander to be a part of this team. And I feel like if there's a guy that is as close as it gets to Tony Vitello, it would be Elander, a guy that has a great connection with all the recruits, a great connection with the team, a guy that's done a great job offensively, a young offensive-minded coach. I think it was Ryan Shumpert that tweeted it out right after the fire, not the firing, I should say. Vitello decided to leave, that Elander would fit the bill of the type of guys that Danny White has hired in other sports. Josh Heupel, modern, offense, younger.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Caldwell, modern, offense, younger. Elander fits that to a T as well. So I'm really excited about it. Brett, I'll begin with you because I know you're ecstatic about it. How big of a deal is it that Josh Elander will be taking over for Tennessee baseball?
It's incredible. It was a great day. I yelled out when I saw it. Couldn't believe it because it kind of came out of nowhere, really. Just like the news of Tony the Saturday before, about him, being in talks for the Giants job. And this Saturday was pretty amazing. The response is just incredible. I kind of wish he kept the beard, but looks like a different person.
Yeah.
But he's Absolutely. I don't even know why we're considering anybody else. I realize he's got to do his due diligence, but this is the only move that could have been made that would have made the fan base happy. Saw the reaction from the players when he was introduced after confirming he was going to be the coach. I mean, he's learned under some of the best coaches between Vitello, Dave Van Horn, Schlossnagel, all of them. He's done his due diligence. He was getting choked up about being the coach. That tells you what it means to him and things like that. So, yeah, couldn't be happier. And I think this team is going to continue to do big things this next year for sure.
Garrett, what about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with Brett. This was the only option. Looks like you'll be able to retain, your entire staff that you've had over the past couple seasons, or really more than that, the past, 5-6 seasons plus. You're going to retain all your recruits. A lot of the recruits, went out on Twitter saying they were 1,000% behind the move and that this was what they wanted. I'd be lying if I said when they said they were going to interview Kevin Schnall, that did perk my interest a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
the fact that they were going to bring back Elander I would have wanted him than anyone else in the country. And I'm just glad that the search didn't take long at all, and it didn't need to take long at all.
Jackson, what about you? Your reaction on Saturday when Elander was named the next head coach for Tennessee baseball?
I was ecstatic. I was fully prepared for Danny White to go and do his own thing in this coaching search and bring in really I was prepared for the worst with the Oregon head coach. I can't think of his name, but I had
Don't need to know it now.
I had seen several reports linking him to Tennessee, and I was just like, all right, I guess baseball is going to be something that we just don't care about much anymore after this. But I was pleasantly proven wrong. I thought it was a little early in the whole coaching process, but I was not at all displeased.
I was surprised it just dropped out of nowhere Saturday. Yeah. There was really no lead up to it.
Well, you got the news of him going to interview like Schnall on Friday.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And the other names were like Vaughn from Bama was mentioned in there. Kansas coach Fitzgerald.
Skirka at Murray State, I know, was a guy that was going to get a look as well.
Yeah, and then boom, it was almost better that way, like
middle of Saturday. So I'm sitting there, I had just gone over to my friend's house because, they've got 3 TVs there.
Right.
So I want to watch all the football games. And I'm sitting there and I get a text and it just said Elander, period. So I go and look. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
yeah,
it's just kind of on there out of nowhere on a Saturday. And one of my other friends, he runs Vol Report. He was in the shower and I banging on his door. I was like, get out. Like, you gotta, it's not funny, but I just thought it was out of nowhere. Just middle of Saturday, boom, the news drops, especially with everything we had heard last week. So now, within a week, you've lost Tony Vitello, but you've now, made the right decision with Josh Elander. I feel like Danny White is back on good terms with everyone. I would feel like, because I feel like you can now fully celebrate and embrace Tony Vitello going to the majors now, because obviously that's a tough pill for many Tennessee fans to swallow, but that is an ultimate dream for many kids growing up. I mean, every kid's dream is to make it to the majors or make it to the highest level. Tony Vitello has done that, and it was really tough to turn that down. And now Josh Elander, the guy that was below him at Tennessee, understands this program very well, has a great relationship with many former players, current players, future players. I feel like you still have a piece of Tony on this team with Elander taking it. And then Q and Anderson are both staying on this group as well. I think that's a big piece of it.
That's huge.
Because Q is one of the best development coaches in baseball, strength and development. Anderson, obviously a very well-renowned pitching coach. I mean, you've still got the core of this coaching staff intact. So while we are all sad that Tony Vitello leaves, I think that Elander was the right hire for now. He gets a 5-year contract with Tennessee. What will the expectations be, though, for this year's team? Obviously, a very talented roster, but I'm interested to get you guys' opinion on this, because I don't really have an answer right now. I don't know what the expectation should be. Should the expectation be to be
Omaha?
In Omaha?
Oh, Omaha, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you're top 5 team for sure going into.
I think roster-wise for sure, yes.
I think you're better than last year's team.
Okay.
For sure. I really do. Between what you have coming back, what you got in the portal, things like that. This team will be more dynamic, I think, with Abernathy and some guys there. But the pitching's key for me. I think your pitching staff's going to be a lot better. And as he mentioned in his press conference, they went out to get more versatile guys. They thought they became too predictable, always going for the hard throwers and things like that. So you like the fact that they're going to have multiple options out of the bullpen and things like that. But yeah, I mean, considering he was behind the scenes, but he was in a way the front of all this, like the offense.
Yeah.
And and I thought he was incredible in just the way he spoke in the press conference.
Yeah.
He was sure about all his answers, and it was just very reassuring because he didn't seem nervous at all. He looks like he's ready for this moment. And I think the team, I think this is going to be huge for this team, a huge rally. And, to go and prove that, hey, just because Tony's gone doesn't mean we can't be a great baseball team.
Yeah. Garrett, what about you? Your expectation?
Yeah, I think Omaha. I mean, you went out and you got so many good guys out of the portal. You get guys like Mack that are going to come in at pitching, and you get some returners and Arvidsson and so many guys that are coming in that are high-level recruits. I think Omaha has to be it. I thought another interesting part of the press conference today was him saying that he would stay as the third base coach. I think that's really cool. I like that he's going to be doing that, continuing to coach third base. I think that just kind of brings more of an element of you and your players together. So I like that he's doing that.
He also poked fun at himself a little bit about being the third base coach. Like he messed up in the past on some of his questionable calls. So, things, but I thought that was interesting too. I mean, you really only see a lot of the coaches do it. I know Corbin does it, Vandy.
A lot of the older coaches do it, I feel like, It
was a little bit surprising. But, I think he's probably just going to promote a guy within to be maybe a little more what his role was, like a recruiting coordinator, things like that. But
sure.
They got so many guys on that staff, like, grad assistants, different people like that.
Kirby's still, I don't know what he's going to be doing, but I guess he'll be
Ross
doing
Kevitt, he mentioned, was his like right-hand man.
Right.
So, he's still planning on being in the cages and being on the recruiting trail and different things like that. So,
yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's a good dude. That's for sure.
Shane Short chimes in. Danny White will give Elander everything to make him successful. That is his hire now. So
hopefully they throw him out there at Neyland on Saturday.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Like, let him introduce your new head coach of your Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, that'd be I wonder.
Somebody said it'd be like crack.
Gosh.
I was like, okay.
I like his salary incentives too that they did. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
But the $1 million, obviously a year, is like his base salary, and then he can make all the way up to $700,000 more, I think it was, in incentives throughout the season from making the SEC tournament all the way to winning the national title.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that.
So saving a good amount of money, it sounds, too. So I wonder
Well, he said he wanted to he spent a lot of time talking about his guys. He wants to take care of them first and foremost, things like that. So maybe that was his incentive towards the contract as well.
Yeah.
To think about those dudes.
But 5 years of insurance, too, that's some good stability for him. Has the opportunity to, continue what Tony Vitello built. Obviously, with everything going down at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, there are going to be, a ton of people intrigued by this team. You needed to make sure that everyone was still on the same page and excited about Tennessee baseball. I think everyone is head over heels to have Elander take over the gig. So great hire from Danny White, the right decision, the right move, and I'm really excited to see what this team puts together here in a couple of months when things get going. But the right move. That's really that's my big takeaway with this, the right move for Tennessee baseball. All right, when we come back, we'll switch over to Week 9 of the college football season, our takeaways from all the big action over on Saturday, and we'll also talk Brian Kelly officially getting the can at LSU. Stay right here. It's the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app, to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Never found out why you left him, but this answer begs that question. Too blind to see.
All right, back here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us, whether it be on the free Fan Run Radio app, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM here in K-Town on the local dial, or on the X/YouTube live stream. Every listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. A couple of housekeeping notes coming up in about 40 minutes. It's The Drive with Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, the Bear, and Walker Smith, no relation. And coming up on Friday, live at Calhoun's, it'll be the Tony Basilio Show. It'll be the Playbook. It'll be The Drive. We're all going to be there. And we'll also be giving away the Fan Run box. What's in the box, you might be asking? Well, plenty of great prizes, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes just for our Fan Run fans. So make sure to come out to Calhoun's on the River on Friday for our live shows. Should be a great time. I'm so excited to meet Tony Basilio as well. I haven't met him before, and he is on right before us here on Fan Run Radio. I'm so excited to see the crowd. He brings a great crowd, does a great show, does a great job. So really excited for that on Friday. Halloween, all treats, no tricks here at Fan Run Radio on Friday at Calhoun's on the River.
You got to wear a costume?
I don't know.
You just going to go as your boy?
I don't know. I've done Trevor Lawrence 2 years in a row. I don't know. I feel like that shtick's a little bit up. I do have a really good Michael Myers costume.
Okay.
I did that last year and wore the full mask and everything. Didn't talk and just walked around and scared people.
Well, you kind of need to talk.
Yeah, well, that is true. Yeah. So I don't know. Honestly, Halloween's creeping up on me this year. I don't have a costume. I don't have a plan. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Man,
I might just go get a bed sheet and be a ghost.
there you go.
Boo, I'll be, or maybe I'll do 23. I'll be Boo Carter.
Oh,
that could be an idea.
disappeared a lot too.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not lying.
What? Oh, man. Well, I like, I like to be positive, but yeah, that's a good, I like that one. I don't know. Maybe I'll be Boo Carter, 23 and a ghost. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. All right. Let's go to week 9 of the college football season. Happened over the weekend. Plenty of big results. Let's begin with number 7 Ole Miss defeating number 18 Oklahoma, the team that the Tennessee Volunteers will see this weekend inside Neyland Stadium. But Ole Miss gets it done 34-26. Heading into this one, can Lane Kiffin get his first ranked SEC road win? Does Oklahoma get back in rhythm after a disappointing performance against Texas? Having a solid outing against South Carolina, but usually anyone has a solid outing against South Carolina. We'll talk more about that other result from the weekend that involved the Gamecocks, but I thought Ole Miss's defense bounced back in this one. Oklahoma on third down goes 4 of 14 and 1 for 3 on third down, and the Rebels got to John Mateer 3 times and caused a turnover. Ole Miss last week, whatever you want to call it, 2 weeks ago, we'll say that, against Georgia, that defense was reeling. The Bulldogs had any type of success that they wanted, but I thought this was a much stronger defensive performance from the Rebels. And I like a lot of guys on this team, Perkins and Umanlian, I think, or Monlian, whatever, how you want to pronounce it. I thought they both had impressive performances off the edge. I thought they limited any big pass plays outside of a couple early in this one. So I thought it was a big performance defensively from the Rebels, who did not look the part against Georgia. And I thought the Rebels offense really punished this Oklahoma defense. Oklahoma, numbers-wise, ranks towards the top of college football in a lot of major defensive metrics, but a lot of people argued heading into this one, well, they haven't really played that great of an offense yet. Michigan was the best one they played against in a win, and Ole Miss goes 431 yards of total offense here, 315 in the air, 21 first downs, 9 for 21 on third down, 2 for 3 on fourth down. They go 5 for 5 on points in the red zone. Trinidad Chambliss goes 315 in the air, 53 on the ground. Winston Watkins had a really big play down the sideline. He goes 4 receptions for 111 yards. This was Lane Kiffin's offense that usually shows up in Oxford and kind of disappears on the road. They were big in this one, and Oklahoma really didn't have an answer. I was looking to see if R. Mason Thomas and guys like that could get into the backfield and wreak a lot of havoc like they did against South Carolina last week. Granted, South Carolina has a pitiful offensive line, but Chambliss continues to be really impressive and locked in, dialed in these spots. And for Lane Kiffin to go on the road and get a ranked win, that's huge for him. And I know everyone throws him in all these head coaching conversations. I mean, if you look on Twitter right now, he's taking every job opening in America. But I think he's focused on this Ole Miss team right now because they are good and might be the most successful team he's cranked out since he's been in Oxford. So I thought the offense was really impressive. Was disappointed with that Oklahoma defense. Couldn't get off the field. 21 first down for the Rebels, man. That 9 for 21. That's almost a 50% rate. So I was disappointed with Oklahoma's defense and was impressed with Ole Miss's offense. John Mateer continues to be a little bit of a concern to watch for. Obviously, he's banged up. He's got 3 nails in his thumb. But against Texas, he looked like he was not ready to go. Last week, didn't have to do much because South Carolina's that bad, and they continue to benefit from really good field position. Saturday, he was just inaccurate. 17 of 31, 223 yards and a touchdown, but just 13 carries for 17 yards. Again, guys like Perkins and Umanlian doing a great job containing him. But he was just inaccurate down the field. And a month ago, this guy was the talk of college football. And now, after that injury, just does not look like the same player. I really think that injury is playing a big factor in this. I mean, it is his throwing hand, that thumb, and that's a big part of gripping the football. But at least for Tennessee fans right now, you got to feel pretty comfortable in what you've seen with Mateer over the last 2 outings or 3 outings. Just does not look like the same player. So John Mateer continues to be a concern for me. My takeaways from Ole Miss, Oklahoma. What'd you guys make of it, Garrett, beginning with you?
Yeah, Ole Miss finally, gets that elusive road SEC ranked win. I think that's big for Ole Miss to do that. If they're going to be a legitimate SEC contender this year and a playoff contender, you got to be able to win on the road. But yeah, like you said, Mateer, a guy that's a dual threat quarterback to only have 17 rushing yards on 13 attempts. It's not very good through the air, as you said, a little bit inconsistent. It's definitely good for the Tennessee defense when, the star player for Oklahoma has been, banged up the past couple weeks. I'm not really exactly sure how the rushing game was in this one, but I know that the rushing game this season has been not as good as they expected. Obviously, Jaden Ott coming over from Cal has been a complete non-factor this year.
Yeah.
So just an interesting team. I think Oklahoma's a team, whether they win or lose this weekend in Neyland, they could still probably end the season with 4 losses. And if this is a team that, once again, kind of underwhelming season, I think they might have some uncomfortable questions coming into Norman this year or even into next year.
Yeah, Venables and company had so much momentum. Heading into that Texas game, many people thought that Oklahoma was going to roll them and get Mateer back and things were going to be back on track. But ever since Mateer's return, just hasn't been the same team. Brett, what do you make of Oklahoma and the loss to Ole Miss on Saturday?
Oh, there's some crucial plays. I know, they were leading going into the fourth. I think they were up 1. I think they were down 5 and had a great punt return. Would have been inside the 50. Crucial fumble by, I think the transfer from Oklahoma or Arkansas, whatever his name was, scored the touchdown. But yeah, but Ole Miss made enough plays at the end, and Oklahoma just couldn't get over the hump. Something I'll have to give this Saturday. I guess we haven't with the stat going around. They haven't scored 27 points in a SEC game since last year. We've given up nothing less than 31.
Yeah.
So what's going to give this weekend? So, but yeah, Mateer just looks like a different quarterback, and Venables is probably on thin ice, to say the least.
Jackson, that team from the college town in Mississippi versus Oklahoma, your takeaways?
Yeah, I thought they looked pretty good. They were able to fight off a Oklahoma comeback, which you saw against Georgia was not what they did. And it was on the road, so that was overall impressive for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. He didn't blow this one, so.
Yeah.
Did you see his interaction with the player?
I did.
That was pretty
awesome.
I did. I like that. I like that.
It was. The guy came over to him too. I couldn't believe it.
Well, my thing is, if you're going to talk during the game and you're going to be about that, you got to be about that after the game too. Don't go up and try to dap them up. Like if I were, I think was it Stone? I think it was Stone.
Yeah.
Was the guy that went up and
but
he was trying to dap him up and handshake him.
This guy said we weren't gonna score on him.
If I was talking mess all game, I'd follow it up after the game.
Yeah.
I don't go be buddy with him now.
Yeah.
So I like Kiffin. Kiffin was standing on business.
Yeah, it was David Stone.
Yeah, David Stone. He's a hell of a football player too. But
yeah,
if you're gonna talk all that crap, you got to keep that same energy. Don't go be buddy with him after.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yep.
Switch over to another SEC result. Number 10 Vanderbilt defeats number 15 Missouri 17-10 in what was supposed to be a pretty impressive showing between two offenses that have shown a lot of promise throughout the season, turned into a defensive slugfest. Both teams played Alabama close. Which one could grab a signature win heading into the final 4 to 5 weeks of the season? Well, it's Vanderbilt because both defenses were big in this one. Missouri goes 5 of 16 on third down. Vanderbilt goes 3 of 10. Both units cause a turnover, but Missouri's fumble was a lot more costly, and we'll get into Prabula here in a second. But I thought Vanderbilt won this game because they won situationally, and when you play in a game like this where the margin of error is so thin, you have to win in other aspects, and that's situational football. They have a 9-play, 5-minute, 10-second drive to keep the ball out of the Tigers' hands, and they capitalize with the touchdown to go up 17-10 in this kind of dogfight game throughout. Vanderbilt did a better job in the crucial moments executing. And I think that's the big reason why they're able to come out with this win. Obviously, Bo Prabula, a big part in that as well. But I thought Zollers looked more – I thought Zollers looked good. Like it wasn't, I didn't think Missouri took a step back at all. I thought almost their passing game kind of was an uptick.
Oh, he was good.
Zollers played like a quarter and almost doubled the amount of yards Prabula had for 3 quarters.
Yeah, Vandy wasn't prepped for that.
Yeah, Prabula goes 9 for 14, 68 yards before the injury. Now, obviously, That was a brutal injury for him to suffer. I've loved watching Prebula this season. A great
A little
story.
dirty, if you ask me.
A nerdy?
Dirty.
Oh.
That guy had his ankle.
Well,
but then he did look like he got rolled on too. But that guy was definitely down there doing some funny business on his ankle.
Well, I didn't look at it as dirty. I just looked at it as a guy they're on the goal line. You're trying to prevent a score. You just got to hold on to the guy.
He rolled over.
I know, but like the pile impending is
I don't know what's caused it, because this guy, put a wrestling move on that ankle.
I don't think he was trying to be dirty personally, but
I mean, it was a crucial play in the game. It was a 4th and goal,
obviously,
whatever it was. But
Zollers comes in. He's a true freshman. Their backup got hurt in the opener against Central Arkansas. They were splitting time with Prebula and Horn to begin the year. Horn got hurt. He's a hell of a baseball player too. He's going to. It was a tough spot for Missouri to be in, but Zollers, for a true freshman coming in here and zipping it around, I thought he was impressive. 14 of 23, 138 and a touchdown. I don't think Missouri's season is over per se, because I think Zollers could be a guy that was able to keep the same momentum.
Prebula might not be done either, right?
Yeah, they said that he could come back
for the
postseason play if it was
just a bad sprain.
So a regular season-ending injury though for Prebula right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a tough blow. Missouri's got a couple of big games coming up the rest of the way, so I don't know. That's a tough loss for them, especially with how close they played. But again, Diego Pavia and the Dogs, they play it close, they win situationally. And Vanderbilt right now is in the driver's seat to be a college football playoff team, even if they fall this week into Texas. Garrett, what'd you make of Mizzou and Vandy?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of different than what you expected. Two teams that have pretty high-octane offenses that only, combined for 27 points in the game. But, I mean, that's just how it was. That kind of shows Vanderbilt, they're not some, Cinderella team. They're a really good team. They can beat you in different facets and different ways in the game. They can beat you in a shootout. They can beat you in a low-scoring game. So I think they're for real. Even though Diego Pavia didn't have his best day, they were still able to get out there and get the win. That play that he had, I don't remember what quarter it was, but it didn't count, but he went all the way over and then reverse field.
Yeah.
And then
that was one of the,
that was one of the best plays I've seen all season right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like him. I know as a Tennessee fan, you're not really supposed to say that, but I think it'd be really cool if it was Vanderbilt, Tennessee for a play-in game for the college football playoff. And if you beat Oklahoma and you take care of business against Florida, that's what should happen.
Yeah, man. I know. I'm excited for that game. I mean, that at the beginning of the season, some people thought Vanderbilt might have a shot to, possibly be something special. Obviously, last year they overexceeded expectations. This year, I think they've done it even more. I think they've exceeded the What was their win total this year? I think it was
still 4.5 or 5.5. I mean, it was below bowl eligibility.
Yeah, man, they've been impressive. Diego Pavia and the Dogs. I like him. I don't have any concern with saying that either. I like Diego Pavia.
You should.
I know he's an acquired taste, but man, he look. He keeps the same, like what I'm talking about with David Stone. Keep the same energy. Pavia keeps the same energy.
We're going to light them up.
Huh?
We're going to light them up at home. I can't wait for them to come down here and take this beating.
Well, hold on.
They cannot keep up with us offensively. No chance.
Hold on now.
They couldn't even do anything against Missouri.
So we're going to sit here and act like in the first segment, we're talking about this Tennessee defense allowing Kentucky
to score points.
I know.
Our defense is what it is. We just said that, but our offense is what it is.
Vanderbilt's lone loss of the season was to Alabama on the road, and
I think we're better offense than Alabama.
I thought they put up a better fight than we did. They had 2 red zone turnovers.
They were in it longer than we were.
They had 2 red zone turnovers.
We gave Alabama 9 points.
They had 2 red zone turnovers that were crucial. I know we had one that was a pick 6, but I thought Vanderbilt was right there with them. And that score was not as – that was not
an 80-yard run. That's about all they did on offense.
They moved it down the field multiple times.
They had barely 200 yards of offense in the game. Probably threw for 120.
Because Alabama sat on it after they.
Oh, I was talking about this past Saturday. I'm not talking about Alabama.
I'm talking about Alabama game.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that one.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they're still a little overrated, a little Cinderella-esque.
Okay.
Other way for him to say at SEC Media Day that he returned to win a national championship, and then for them to be 7-1. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I like it. Okay. He's standing on business, Brett. He's standing on business.
We'll talk when they come down here, but I mean, goodness, you guys over there.
Now, Jackson, you were nodding your head when Brett said they're overrated.
Over here.
I know you always seem to get the people on that side on your side.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, they're 7-1. They've played some good football, but I mean, I think my biggest issue is that Pavia keeps getting his name put in the Heisman conversation while Joey is completely left out. I mean, if it's truly a numbers game, which that seems to be what it is, I mean, Pavia's numbers really suck since they played Utah State. I mean, he's barely had 500 passing yards the last 3 games combined.
Well, but he's a dual threat guy. Again, he was a difference maker against LSU. He was a difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, 86 yards on the ground. Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. But still, I mean, he's got – I mean, you combine his rushing and receiving yards. Rushing and passing yards, still less than Joey's total passing yards. And that's Pavia's total stats. I think the media is caught up in the
hoopla.
Yeah, that's a great word. Hoopla of them being 7-1 for the first time since John F. Kennedy was alive. But I mean,
put some respect on the boys, man.
I will put some respect on them if they come in and Neyland and beat Tennessee. I mean, I don't respect Vanderbilt. I don't have any kind of.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not saying Vanderbilt comes in here and beats Tennessee.
Sounds like it. You and the Fighting Pavias over there.
I do. Look,
it'll be a competitive game. I mean, it'll be.
Stop it! Stop!
How? Why do you think it'll be competitive?
Brett, stop!
Why?
Stop!
They beat a team with.
It's not going to be competitive. It's not going to be
competitive.
Within
it'll be a 4-quarter game.
How many points will we put on their defense?
I will say, I mean, their marquee win of the season is against a team that fired their coach. So
I mean, Utah State scored 40 against those boys. What are we going to put up on them?
I'm worried about how many they put up on us, Brett.
They played him last year, did nothing. They're not going to put up. He might put up something, but he's not going to put up. It'd probably be like Kentucky scored this weekend.
56-34.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right.
You and the Fighting Pavias are there. Maybe that's what you should dress up with for Halloween.
Shiesty
Wear
mask.
that down. Wear that down there and see how you get welcomed. Hey, Mr. Basilio, here's Pavia.
Pavia Patterson. Yeah.
Lord Almighty.
We'll talk Brian Kelly and Texas A&M LSU here in a minute on the other side, but we'll hit the phones real quick. We got Roberto on the line. What's up, Roberto?
I mean, well, the Orange has got to be retired. He's now West End Williams. That's out there. Big Vandy alum over now.
Can you believe it?
Have mercy. Here's the deal. Diego Pavia deserves respect.
Yeah.
He's a nice football player. And that is a good football team. And they could damn well come in here and beat us. That could happen. Also, he's the second best Mexican quarterback in the state of Tennessee.
Joey Ag, number one.
Saying that. I love the Aguilars, and they love me. What can I say?
Yeah.
They love my tailgate, and they're good people.
Yeah, I agree. They've been both good.
But I mean, look, they're right. If Tennessee was 7-1 and we had a victory over Georgia or Alabama, he'd be right there too. You'd have to have him in that conversation.
Yeah,
because we'd be in the top 6. We would be. So I'm not all hung up yet. But I do think it is kind of weird. Joey Aguilar might actually be the best story in college football this year. He might just be the best story in college football, and nobody's telling it.
Yeah, one of them for sure. I mean, his journey is incredible.
He has a game like he did against Kentucky, against Oklahoma, though. Now you're having a conversation.
I will say that is a good Oklahoma defense. I know they didn't look the part this weekend.
That's what I mean. I don't think Kentucky's that good. I also don't think Brett, as I call him, Brett Vegetables. I don't think he's dumb enough to stay in a one high safety look and just bring everybody down in the box. I don't think he's that dumb.
Yeah.
He might be. If he is, he's gonna get torched.
Yeah.
That, and then man, I'm glad Danny listened to me the other day. Remember when I was saying, Danny, do not hire Josh Elander.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I'm really glad he listened and didn't do it. No, I'm elated for that kid. I will say I didn't know who he was when he walked in for his introduction to the team the other day, though. as the kids call it, a glow up, I believe. And that was quite the
You had
glow
the
up.
Schaefer's interview, right?
Yeah, he looked the
Yeah,
part.
he's already. Have you seen this dude though? He shaved for his interview and got lined up, and he's already got almost a full beard coming back. He's like,
That thing will be back in no time.
he has an elite alpha baseball jawline, guys. You know he's a good coach. Look at his jawline. That's all you got to know.
Yeah, he looks sharp
his
today.
His shoulder to waist ratio is huge, and that's prime indicator of elite baseball coach. But I all that to say, guys, it was a good weekend to be a Vol. You know, as bad as it was at 12:30 the Saturday previous, it was equally that good this Saturday at 12:30. Man, I mean, dark mode in Neyland. I'm trying not to peak too early. I peaked a little bit this morning on that video. I only had half a coffee because I thought if I had a full one, I'd just run through a wall.
Yeah.
After seeing that. But I think this weekend, even though Weston William doesn't believe it, I can hear it in his voice. I think we're going to win, and I think it's going to be pretty decisive.
Whoa.
I think we're going to play better football.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. You're very John Mateer. You're pro Mateer. You're pro Pavia. You're not an Aguilar guy. It's okay.
Whoa.
I heard it in your voice.
Whoa.
I'm just putting that on the airways so everybody knows it.
Roberto. I was just saying Mateer doesn't look 100% a second ago. I think Tennessee wins this weekend. So let's get that. I know you're kidding.
Yeah, I know. I love you, and you know that.
I know.
Like a brother, and that's the way it's got to stay.
I know.
But I actually think that I think the key to the game is the fact that we don't really have to sell out to stop OU's run game.
Yeah,
because I think we've had to do a little bit of that recently.
Sure.
Against some of these teams to make sure that they didn't run the ball. I think probably a prime example is Arkansas. I do believe Oklahoma is closer to Arkansas than they are to Alabama offensively.
Sure.
Especially with Mateer's ability to run. But I mean, I don't know, man. I guess we tried to keep contained with our defensive ends the last couple of weeks because we got gashed in the running game so much against Mississippi State and Arkansas. I don't think we'll have to keep contained as much this week, and I think they're going to unleash our defensive ends again. Because if you've watched the last two games, our defensive ends have pulled up to keep contained. Have you noticed that? Like, they had a clear shot at the Boley kid the other day, and they didn't take it.
Yeah,
because I think they were trying to keep contained. So
yeah.
I'll leave you with that, guys. I'm sure I'll call back in. Thanks for the time, and have a great week, okay?
You as well, Roberto. We appreciate you calling in, as always. Hope you had a good weekend of watching football. But I think containing is a big thing because, obviously, if you've got your linebackers having to jump back in pass coverage, there's not a whole lot of protection or I guess secondary protection per se outside of that first level. So I think especially this week, it's important to make sure you're containing, and I don't think Tennessee gets a ton of them, but like coverage sacks, like where you have enough pressure up front to where quarterbacks, not completely in rhythm or a little bit rattled. And then if you're covered well enough down the field, like you can just get a coverage sack by him having to throw it away or something like that. But I think for Mateer, especially with those legs, it's important to contain him, not over pursuit. Because we even saw that last week, and Brett, you're going to lose your mind. But like LSU was crashing in on Diego Pavia too quick. They were jumping in the backfield like Harold Perkins has a ton of speed, but they were crashing in so quick that Pavia was able to, pivot out and then had a couple of big plays on fourth downs and third downs that he was able to pick up. So not over committing, I think, is a big key this week against John Mateer and company. Something to add?
Yeah, you see people on Twitter, and I think people on here, whether it be the early shows, have claimed, or not claimed, but cried for Jalen Perlotti to get more playing time.
Yeah.
Perfect role for him Saturday night is to just spy Mateer.
Yeah.
I mean, you give him one job because, he's probably the fastest guy in the linebacking room.
Yeah.
So, that's perfect solution to that problem.
Yeah, I like Perlotti a lot. I think he brings a ton of speed. I think he's a lot better in pass coverage than Elander. Hopefully you get Arian Carter back this week. That would be very, very nice, especially with Colton Hood now not 100% either, dropping like flies, are some of your best players defensively. Landon Kelly says, is Willie really glazing Pavia and Clark Lee right now? Not glazing. I'm just giving credit. I like watching Pavia play. He's fun. And he's got a similar story to Joey Aguilar, too. Two guys that were ridden off and didn't have a chance and worked their way up. So I appreciate that. I'm not saying Vanderbilt's going to beat Tennessee. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying give some respect to Vanderbilt. This is not the Vanderbilt of old. So hope that clears it up, Landon. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about Brian Kelly officially getting the can after a disastrous performance Saturday night. We'll wrap things up on the playbook when we return right here on Fan Run Radio.
Congratulations. You found sports radio that doesn't suck. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
Hey, football fans, this is Stats.
And this is the Sheik. And together we are the Cover Boys, and we cover college football like no one else.
Each week, we preview all the big games in college football, and we may not tell you who's going to win, but we'll tell you who's going to cover.
Our patented right sides are clicking at 66% against the spread all time.
So join us right here every Friday evening at 8 for the Cover Boys on the official voice of Tennessee fans, Fan Run Radio.
And enjoy the winners, everyone.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
All right, wrapping up things on the playbook presented by VIP Play. Make sure you go and claim your bonus bets on the VIP Play app. Use the code FANRUN to get $100 instantly. You can use it to bet on Tennessee this weekend against Oklahoma. You can use it to bet on tonight. Hey, we got action in football, basketball, hockey, and baseball. And baseball tonight.
The rare sports equinox.
The 32nd time in history that all 4 are playing tonight. So, even more the reason to download the VIP Play app and use that code FANRUN for $100 in bonus bets. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. We'll wrap it up with Brian Kelly. Gets the can at LSU. It was 18-14 at halftime. Marcel Reed had 2 interceptions. LSU looked like it was going to notch its 21st win in a night game under Brian Kelly. And quickly, things turned for the worse. 35 points for Texas A&M in that second half, including a really, really impressive play from KC Concepcion on a punt return touchdown. That's what opened this thing up. And Brian Kelly gets the can yesterday. A 10-year that started off with a fake accent, fake Southern accent, ended with him getting canned on a Sunday after a 5-3 start to the season. This was a team that Kelly said was the best he's ever had at LSU. And they've lost 3 out of their 8 games to begin the season. This offense continues to struggle. 278 yards of total offense at just 4.2 yards per play, 60 rushing yards. Harlem Berry and Durham combined for 6.9 yards a carry. They only had 14 attempts between the two. They abandoned the run game. I thought they should have continued it. Garrett Nussmeier has lost a lot of money this year. 22 of 35, 168 and a touchdown.
It's beat up.
Michael Van Buren, I think, will be good. Well, now I don't even know if he'll stay there, but I think Van Buren will be a good quarterback somewhere else. Doesn't look like he's going to stick around. I bet a lot of that team leaves. But I think, at least from the game perspective, A&M continues to establish himself as the best team in the SEC. 2 ranked road wins at night, Notre Dame and LSU. Number 8 in scoring offense. They got a top 25 defense in most major metrics. 27th in rush defense, 22nd among Power 4 teams in pass defense. This is a good team, man. Texas A&M is really, really good. Mike Elko's done a hell of a job. Marcel Reed, I think, is the most improved player from last year to this year. Is that fair to say? Most improved player in the SEC that was in the league last year, Marcel Reed? Like last year, Marcel Reed to me was a kind of a one-trick pony. It was a guy that you could do a lot of read options with, and he could run it in with his legs. I thought he was inconsistent down the field. I know he had 2 interceptions Saturday night, but he responded really well.
They didn't have receivers like this either.
No, they didn't.
Those guys are playmakers out there.
Yeah, but someone's got to get the ball to him too.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I think Marcel Reed's been one of the most impressive players from last year in the SEC to this year, and A&M is really damn good. My takeaway from the Brian Kelly era: disappointment and disaster. I thought he showed his ass Saturday night. What he did on the sideline time and time again, I thought was embarrassing. Yeah. And it shows the kind of jackass that he is as a guy. And he's had plenty of issues throughout his coaching career with some, very sensitive topics.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there on the sideline cussing out his assistants, saying, after Casey Concepcion rattles off that 75-yard touchdown, he turns to his assistant and says, "That blank is how you get blanking fired." Like, just saying that on the sideline in the middle of a game. And it was a 10-point game at the time.
Yeah.
What kind of encouragement is that for, like, you still got to play 20 more minutes of football? I think he's a loose cannon. Now, in his contract, it's the same thing as James Franklin. He's got to go get another job. So he's got to actively look for another job to get that buyout. But I don't even know who would want him at this point. I mean, outside of a group of 5 team that maybe maybe a Big 12 team gives him a chance. But I just,
if you can't win at LSU, I don't know where you can go and win.
I don't think he's a well-liked guy either.
His interactions with Nussmeier on the sidelines, at times were a bit strange. Like, he looked like he was losing his job at that moment.
I think he's just a mean guy. Like, they're just mean people in life that you'll meet. Just mean people. I think he's just a mean person. What do you, Jackson, you nod your head. What do you make of it?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really shocked. I believe LSU is one of those places where you kind of, regardless who you are as a head coach, you have everything in front of you to succeed. With like the unrivaled recruiting they have access to in Louisiana. I mean, there's not another school that, even in the state, that really can compete with LSU for all the talent down there. I mean, it's too good of a position to lose the games he did. And so I thought his time was well up. Was not surprised that they moved on from him. And yeah.
Garrett.
I wasn't surprised that they moved on from him. I thought they would have waited till the end of the season. It was just kind of the way it happened. I don't think they had intentions of firing him yesterday until he had that meeting and they said, "You got to fire your offensive coordinator." And he said, "Well, I'm not doing that unless I can fire my offensive line coach." And then they were like, "No, you can't do that." And then that was when the whole situation transpired. And then they ended up firing him before that team meeting even happened. But no, I mean, LSU's gonna go out. They're gonna get somebody. Kids commit to LSU because of LSU, not because of who the coach is there. The AD at LSU, though, Scott Woodward, he's responsible now for hiring Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, who has the largest buyout in college football history, and Brian Kelly, who has the second largest buyout in college football history if it goes through. He will have over $132 million in buyouts if Brian Kelly finds another job.
So did he get fired at A&M and went to LSU, or did he just take the job at LSU?
I'm not sure how it happened, but he left A&M. I believe it was in 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know that meme of the kind of the character that is going down the hallway with, kind of like, that's him. He's taking down LSU and Texas A&M.
Who do you think the leader for that job is? Is it Kiffin? Like, it seems like.
Well, Kiffin's the number one guy at every job. And I was back in Memphis, saw a lot of my high school friends, and they're, all asking, my opinions of, they all went to different schools, and a lot of them go to Ole Miss. And they're like, "Do you think Kiffin's actually going to leave?" I'm like, well, the thing right now, Ole Miss is on pace to be in the college football playoff.
LSU's not.
LSU's obviously not. If Ole Miss makes the playoff, Kiffin would have to agree to take another job while his team is still playing for a championship. I don't think that's going to happen. We talked about it with
Miss
Cignetti
that.
as well.
Yeah.
Like when Cignetti was getting floated around for Penn State, are schools going to wait out a coach that's in the college football playoff that's going to be after the original national signing day and is not going to be like, they're going to miss out on a ton of recruits and transfer portal players. Do you really want to go all in on a guy that's not going to be focused on your team? Could be until after the new year's has already arrived.
I can see them going after Summerall. He's at Tulane in New Orleans. I don't know.
Yeah, Betty Notes had Brady from the Panthers as well.
I don't understand why that name is such a hot topic.
Yeah.
I just don't think that would fit. I don't know.
He did have success there in 2019 with Burrow, but we'll see. All right, that's going to wrap it up for a Monday edition of the Playbook presented by VIP Play. Join us once again tomorrow from 1 to 3 for Gary Armbrust, Jackson Freeman, and Brett Hullander. I'm William Pattison. Coming up next, it's The Drive.